Hey, hey. So you beat them, so you mistreat them, so you lock them down, and you think that you won, but them a whole a meditation. Out in the iration, them a follow Rastafari, and I live upright. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. You give them cartoons to turn them fools. You poison their foods, and you think that you won, but them a whole a meditation. Out in the iration, them a follow Rastafari, and I live upright. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them rules. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them rules. Come with your negative spirits, what the youth are not feeling. Come around with your white lies, trying to blind everyone's eyes, but them a whole a meditation. Out in the iration, them a follow Rastafari, and I live upright. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Hey, cause the youth are all them roots. Live up now, you live up now. Live up. Da 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 da. I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control. Wanna give me laughs, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I hear them talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, what you doing? Don't you see what they have done to Bedouin and Marcus, Jesus and all of the prophets? But I'm not afraid, no. No, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, if them a come, let them come, cause I'm protected by the Most High One. They don't mind when you fall behind and can't pay your bills on time. Prostituting and standing in a them government line. No, and they don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid.
Good evening, Councilman. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. I'm good.
Can you hear me? We good?
We can hear you. Tallman, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
All right, Mr. Alex Mendes, I'm out of here. You'll be talking to official Tallman.
Alex, buenos noches, mi amigo.
Buenas noches, mi amigo. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm great.
It's good to see you. I see you're still in your office.
Oh yes, listen. I get up early. I start my day early and I finish my day late. You know, I love to work.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Well, I want to officially welcome you to another episode of What's in My Cup, sponsored by the Total Country Time app.
Excellent. I'm excited. I'm excited to be with you guys.
And we're definitely glad to have you. So, you know, on this podcast, we don't waste no time, Alex. We get straight to it.
Oh wow! Listen, so we're on the air.
We're on the air. We're live.
Excellent, excellent.
So, first off, how was your day? I know you got some new things going on. I see the tennis courts back open and all of these things.
Yes, you know, my day, I have it's been beautiful. It's been great. So very early, I've been in the third ward. You know, as you know, I'm the councilman of the third ward. The ward that had the largest Jamaican community, not only in the city of Patterson, but in the state of New Jersey. So we fixing one of the main roads, which is 14th Avenue. That road hasn't been paved for over 30 years, I will say. And for the first time, you know, in close to 3 decades. So we're finishing, we're working on it. By tomorrow, it's going to be totally brand new. The community is very excited. So I was there early supervising the work that they're doing there. And I'm just very excited to be with you guys, you know. So I got one of my council aide, Q Watson, always keep me informed about what's going on in the third ward in that area. And I have a great team of people that help me to serve the community in a great capacity.
Okay, definitely. So tomorrow we can expect that to be finished.
Yes, tomorrow by the end of the day, 14th Avenue is going to be totally repaved, and everybody's very happy because that's one of the worst roads that we have in the city of Patterson and in the third ward in our area.
Okay, definitely. So we're definitely looking forward to that. I know previously you've done a lot of work with a bunch of the other streets that definitely needed attention. So we know that's definitely something you can do.
And also River Street. We already approved the funding for River Street. Very soon we finished with the architectural work of River Street. And also now we're going to work with the sewer. Once we fix the sewer, then we're going to fix the entire River Street. By next year, River Street is going to be totally brand new. We approved the funding for that. And I'm very excited, you know, for that accomplishment.
So does that funding include rim repairs for my rims that were damaged on River Street?
The rim repair should include it, right? my brand new truck, the rim got damaged on River Street. I'll tell you that. So we should include it, you know?
Definitely, because I had to pay for my rims for River Street.
I believe you. I got to tell you, I believe you. I definitely believe you, you know?
All right, so first thing is first, let's get the podcast started. So to all our listeners and viewers, today is October 26th. Welcome to another episode of What's in My Cup, sponsored to you by the Tony Culture Time app. Today, we have a very special guest. Yes, we have Mr. Alex Mendes, the current council president for the city of Patterson, located in Passaic County. So Alex, let's start off by telling our viewers and listeners a little about yourself. So who is Alex Mendes? Tell us a little bit about your history, where you came from. I know you're not originally a national of America, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I got to tell you, you know, I was born and raised in Dominican Republic. I came to the city of Patterson for the first time in the year 2000. And since then, I've been calling Patterson home. I got here with my family, with my kids, and I definitely I got involved into the community, serving the community. As soon as I got into the city of Patterson, I got very involved into the schools district. I'm all about education, and as soon as my kids start getting into the Patterson Public School, I saw the need of a voice that represent the community, that represent those parents that didn't have no voice. And I got involved into the school system, making a lot of changes, fighting for parents that was fighting for the better education for the children. That really helped give me the ability to just continue working and became the commissioner for the Patterson Board of Education in 2010. I was the one that introduced the uniform policy in the city of Patterson in the school district. Patterson School District didn't have any uniform policy, any dress code. I got in there with Chris Irving and Kenneth Simmons. Kenneth Simmons still live in the third ward, one of our constituents. So we got into the school system. I introduced the uniform policy. I got a full support. We approved the uniform policy. We took faction out of the school. So now then after that, we changed the regular high school into academy, into all different academy. If you see inside, we have 3 academy: government, culinary art, and technology. Also Kennedy High School. So we changed all the high school around the city. So I got reelected in the Patterson Board of Education because of my job and all the law that I introduced. And in 2014, I decided to run for councilman at large. I got elected, and I continue serving the community. And I've been in the city council. Now I'm the councilman of the third ward, and I've been in the council since then, making policy that help the city move forward. I have 3 beautiful children. Well, they're not kids anymore. My son, he's 23, product of Patterson Public School, born and raised in the city of Patterson. He finished college. He went to William Patterson University for communication and administration. My daughter, Maya Mendez, she's 19. She lives in Washington, D.C. She's now attending at Howard University on a medical school in Howard on the second year. And my little Daniel, he's 15 years old. He's attending at Passaic County Tech, homeowner in the city of Patterson, investing in the city of Patterson since I got here. And I definitely call my Patterson home,
Okay, so just to reiterate a little bit of that, so you were actually monumental in the foundation for the uniform code that the city of Patterson now has, that khaki and the burgundy.
Yes, I introduced that legislation. That was my policy. I introduced it, and that definitely gave me the push to move forward. So I showed the community that I'm an effective legislator, and that really helped me to just go into the next level. So and since then, I've been implementing legislation that really helped the school system and the city at large. One of the greatest legislation, I'll tell you
Excuse
that.
me, Councilman, your voice dropped. What's going on?
Pride of the third ward. The third ward.
Alex, can you adjust your volume?
I tell you that. I feel a son of the Jamaican community. I had the privilege to introduce in the city council, was the one of the person responsible to make sure that we have a portion of Brilliant Avenue called Jackson Way in the city of Patterson. And that's the only street in the whole United States with the name Jamaican Way right here in the city of Patterson. When I became a councilman in the third ward, because I know all the great professionals that we have, leaders in the Jamaican community, I say, you know what, you deserve it. I got involved and I say, we got to make it happen. And in less than 3 months, we make it happen. I know there was a group of leaders, Errol Carr and other leaders, Key Watson, they've been fighting for years for that. They was fighting for years. And I said, you know what? As soon as I became the councilman, I told them, I don't know what happened before, but now I'm here and I'm all about action. So I introduced it. Within 3 months, we got the legislation passed, and the event, it was phenomenal. And that's it in honor of all the Jamaican community and the doctor, the architect, engineer, nurses, business owner that live in the city of Patterson, right in the third ward. I've been knocking around all different doors, and it's amazing, all the professionals that we have. Patterson is a better city because our Jamaican community called Patterson home.
So just to be specific, what exactly was your involvement where it relates to the street naming specifically?
Well, my involvement was a key involvement as a councilman of the third ward. I was the one that sponsored the legislation. In order for you to make a legislation pass, you need to have a council member, specifically the council member of that ward, to introduce it. So myself, I introduced it alongside with Councilman Jackson, and we are instrumental that the legislation pass. Otherwise, it's impossible for you to make a legislation pass. The council member of that ward need to support the legislation, need to endorse the legislation, and push it in order for that to happen.
So Alex, it's my understanding that legislation was introduced prior to you becoming councilman. So what was the difference? How were you able to get it done when you became councilman versus previously when that legislation was introduced?
Quite honestly, I don't know, because it was curious for me, because the previous councilman, he was Jamaican, and I don't know why he couldn't make it happen. He couldn't get it done. And for me, I didn't understand, quite honestly, if there was some issue behind closed door, some animosity. I don't know exactly what was the problem, but my whole goal was like, you know what, that need to happen, because I know how great community we have. The Jamaican community, it's an amazing community, like business owner, all kind of professional that help the city in so many ways. And I'm a witness of that, because I've been in those houses. I've been knocking in those doors. It's not that somebody's telling me. It's that I know so many doctors. There's a teacher that now he's a principal in New York, and he's Jamaican. So many different doctors. So I know all of them. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that happens. As a councilman of the third ward, having the largest Jamaican community, that was one of my number one goals. So as soon as I became councilman of the third ward, I worked with that, and I endorse it, and then Councilman Jackson endorsed it. So we together, we just make it happen.
Well, I definitely want to say that was one of the greatest achievements that we were able to get here in Patterson, for the Jamaican community, because as as well as your community, the Spanish community, and other communities have had a lot of street named based off of Spanish.
Exactly. That's why I say that. The Dominican community has it, the Peruvian, the Colombian. What about the Jamaican community? And I'm going to tell you, the Jamaican community was one of the first community that came into the city of Patterson in the 1940, 1930, around that time. It was like one of the first community that came into the city. So you've been here for many, many years, and that really acknowledge the past, present, and future leaders of the community, because Jamaican way is going to stay there forever. So we're not going to be here. We're going to be gone, and the future generation is going to be here. They're going to be here, and they're going to look on Brilliant Abbey in 1918. They're going to say, wow, look at that Jamaican way, So that's going to stay forever in the city of Patterson.
It's definitely going to stay. It wasn't put here to be temporary. It's definitely something here. Moving on, let me divert from politics for a second. So I heard you mention that you have a business background. I understand that you used to own and operate a transportation company.
Oh, yes. I used to have one of the largest transportation company in Hudson County, Jackson's Limousine and Transportation Company. I used to do it was all corporate between New Jersey and New York. I was located right there in Secaucus, New Jersey. I was very successful in that business. I stayed there for close to 11 years, and I did extremely well on that company. So I moved on. Now I'm in the real estate business. And in the real estate investment, new construction. I love that business. I started learning about real estate in 2003, and I opened my business. I did very well, and I went back into real estate. That's really my passion. I do a lot of seminar. I teach people how to become homeowner, first-time home buyer. So that's key. Like our community, our Caribbean community, they need to move to the next level, which is become a homeowner, business owner, buy property. That's the key. So, and I'm very excited. I have a lot of passion. When I see somebody that wants to invest for the first time, I like to teach them how that works, how real estate works, and how important it is to invest in real estate.
So when we're not calling you Councilman Mendez, we can call you Real Estate Agent Mendez.
You can call me both, or you can call me Alex Mendez. I wear a different hat. Title for me is not important. For me, the most important thing is the job that I could do for the community and the way that I could impact the community in a positive way. I always say God already blessed me more than what I deserve. I have a beautiful family, two beautiful children, healthy, my wife, so I'm good. So now, my time, I really want to dedicate my time into serve the community, help the people. And I work every day to put food on the table, and I really enjoy every day.
So it's my understanding that you also work in immigration reform.
Well, so I do a lot of immigration forum. That's another thing. Like the immigrant community for me, I like to work really hard with our immigrant community. Our family, when they come from Jamaica, from Dominican Republic, they need a lot of assistance. They have to become U.S. citizen. Some of them, they have to get the document, legalize their status here in the United States. So I work with different lawyers. So I did one of my last seminar 2 months ago. I put a great seminar at the Patterson Museum. It was successful. It was very successful. We have we have a couple of lawyers from immigration in different area that they work with the community at no cost. And next month, I'm working on a seminar to help people to become U.S. citizen. So we fill it up the N400 application, and also for us senior and people of the community with no income, we fill it up the waiver, which is the application that they use to avoid the payment of the $700 money order that they have to send. A lot of people in our community, they do qualify for the waiver, so that way they don't have to pay, and they could become U.S. citizens at no cost. So we have to motivate our residents to make sure that they go through the next level, which is becoming U.S. citizen, get involved in the election process, make sure they get registered to vote, and at the same time, that way they could enjoy all the benefits of being a United States citizen.
So you said you're doing this next month. So this applies to all people who have immigrant status, correct?
Apply to everybody. So I'm gonna have a couple of lawyers, immigration lawyer, just to give advice, because I will tell you this, right? And I wanna take this time to talk about this. It's very important. If you're not a U.S. citizen and you go to court, be very careful. If you get a ticket, if you get a violation when you go to court, be very careful on if you're gonna plead guilty or not. You gotta get a lawyer and get a legal advice, because if you're not a U.S. citizen, for example, speeding on a school zone, there's a different thing. Speeding or the DWI, you could be deported for that. So that going to the line item of deportation. So you could be in a lot of trouble by going and plead guilty, not knowing that you're gonna have that the consequences is gonna be severe for you. So you gotta get legal advice. I like to talk to the immigrant community, our Caribbean community, about all those legal ramifications, and how important it is to have a legal advice before you go to court if you're not a U.S. citizen. So I'm gonna have that. I'm working on that. So it's gonna be here at City Hall. So I'm gonna let the community know when that's gonna happen, to invite everybody, come to City Hall. I want you to listen to the expert lawyers that are gonna be here, just giving information about how important it is to be U.S. citizen. How important it is to get to that step.
Definitely. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. That's definitely a good thing. Immigration reform is very important to both of our cultures.
Yes.
Because as you say, when our family members, friends, constituents come here, they definitely need assistance and need those services, and they don't always know where to go to find that.
That's correct. That is correct.
Your seminar is definitely going to be something that we're going to be looking forward to. While we're on the topic, let me ask you, based off your history of being in business, you're in the logistics and the transportation industry, what specifically piqued your interest to get into politics?
My son. When my son was in the school system, they changed my son from for a regular classroom to a bilingual classroom, because his last name was Mendez, because he has a Latino last name. Just because they have to put a group of kids together to start a ESL program, not knowing that my son was born and raised in the United States. English was his first language. So from that moment, I understood that I have to get involved, that I must get involved in the community, in the school system. And I start fighting and advocating for parents, and that really helped me to get more involved into politics. And that's the reason why I started getting elected at the Board of Education. and then from the Boulevard, I came into the City Hall, which is the governing body of the city of Patterson, to create legislation. For me, it was a life changing, event.
So tell me a little bit about your qualifications. Did you graduate from college?
Yes, I went to school in Dominican Republic. I went to school for marketing. So when I went to school in DR, I worked with in marketing with Pepsi all my years in Dominican Republic. So when I came here, I always liked finance. I always was into the business sector. So when I came here, as soon as I came here, I went back to school to get my license in finance, life insurance,
I don't
real
know when
estate.
it gets
So I got
when
those
his phone starts
license,
to ring, it happens,
I got involved into the
and he's not
into
even
the
hearing us
finance
either.
business. 3 years after being here, that's the reason why in 2003 I really got my real estate
We're
license.
gonna have to let
I
him
was doing
know that it
insurance,
happened the second
educating the
time now.
community. So I got all those licenses. So that really helped me to stay back into the business world. So and I keep going, I keep studying. So in order for
Councilman
me to have
Mendes,
the
Alex,
transportation, yeah, I
Alex,
became.
excuse
Go
me.
ahead.
What happened is your phone or something was ringing and it cut your voice down. So when you were
I'm
saying,
sorry. So I got another call. Go ahead.
yeah, just be aware that when it
Maybe put your phone on mute, Alex.
Okay, so mute that perfect. So I okay. So yes, it's
or if it starts
it's
to ring, just know that we're not hearing your voice anymore.
okay. So it's start again. Yeah. I stopped the call immediately. Didn't notice that. Yeah. So
Continue.
if you missed my conversation, so I went to school for marketing in Dominican Republic, but when I came here, I got into the finance industry. I got my license of my real estate license. I started working on insurance. I went to school. I went to Rocky University to get my certification. And I start educating the community and in the business world. And since then I've been in the business sector and the private sector and in the public sector when it comes to politics as an elected official.
Okay, so that's definitely good. So, with that being said, you're definitely, qualified, as it goes to say you have a very diverse political background, and at the same time you have a very diverse business background. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a good thing. Alex, tell me about, I know we spoke about the street naming and we spoke about the park and the streets and the tennis courts. Tell me some of the other things that you've been able to do for the community during your tenure on the council.
Yes, I mean you mentioned the park. So I am talking about the tennis court. We're gonna do the grand opening on Monday, and the following Saturday we have a great leader in the third ward. That's we're gonna do a tournament the following Saturday right there at the tennis court. That tennis court was dilapidated for I would say maybe 20 years. Since I've been in Patterson, I never see that tennis court rehabilitated. We invest $500,000. We have a state-of-the-art tennis court. We paved the whole east side park. All the roads are brand new. So the property around the park, they're going to take a lot more value up. The value is going to go up. We have a brand new park. Like the pathway also is renovated. We're making major investment in fixing most of the road in the third ward. So another thing that we have done, we invest in millions of dollars to fix all the field, all the baseball field in the area, soccer field. We have done it. So it's been tremendously. Now,
Hello,
in
Patterson.
terms
This
of
is your
the
Council President, Alex Mendez, and I'm right here at Eastside Park. We finally done with our tennis court, totally
yes,
renovated. We have a
that's
state-of-the-art
me
tennis court for
doing
our community,
doing
for our youth, right
letting
here
the
at Eastside
community
Park.
know that the
We're gonna do
park
the grand
is
opening this
gonna be
coming
that
Monday,
the tennis
and the
court is
following
gonna be
Saturday we're
done
gonna have
and
a great
it's done
tournament
already
for the
and it's gonna
community.
be
I'm
open
looking
on
forward to
Monday.
see our children playing
So
right here
other
in the
thing that we
tennis
have
court.
done,
Your
listen, like I
Council
said, we
President.
invested in major millions of dollars fixing the road around the third ward, fixing the park in the community. Since I've been there at the city council, I've been champion legislation like a legislation that we approved recently a couple of months ago, and it was making sure that when it's a job position, I want to making sure that a Patterson resident get the first opportunity to have the interview and to be able to get that job. So I introduced that legislation. It passed. Also, here in the city of Patterson, as you know, a lot of people, they're coming from outside to dump garbage in the community. They dumping garbage everywhere, construction, and all kind of different material. So I create a legislation to increase the fine up to $10,000 if you for those people that are going around throwing garbage around the city, and minimum $2,500. That been a huge impact in the community, because a lot of people, when they get caught, they go to court. They have to pay between $2,500, $7,000, $10,000, and a lot of people that we're stopping them from coming into the city of Patterson and dumping garbage in our community. All the legislation that we have implemented is, in the support of the community through the economic development, opening the door for different people to come here and call Patterson home, investing in the city of Patterson, supporting local business as well. So I've been leading I've been the leader of a lot of different legislation in the city of Patterson. We could keep going on and on and on.
So Alex, what really baffles me is you're introducing all of this legislation, but there's been plenty of people in these positions before you, and this has been an ongoing problem for multiple years. Why hasn't this legislation been introduced previously? I mean, these are common problems that we have here in the city of Patterson. Were they only noticed when you got on the board?
Yes, you're right. There's been those are common problems that we're facing in the city of Patterson. But some elected officials, they concentrate in all the area. I like to concentrate when I'm sitting here. I like to concentrate on how to create legislation. Like, for example, this past summer, I introduced a legislation that passed immediately, which was to bring safety into the community, into the city of Patterson this summer, to get additional funding for people to respect the not to double park, not blocking the sidewalk, the crosswalk, to bring safety into our community. It passed. So I have a lot of passion. I like to create laws and legislation. So I invest time to see what we need in the community, to just go on and which direction we should go. So that's the reason why, I'm being very effective, and it's a blessing. I love it. When you love what you do, you never work one day in your life.
This is true. Let me ask you, Alex, what is your opinion on the state takeover of the Patterson Police Department? Do you think that that's something that was necessary? Do you think it's effective? Do you think that Patterson has been making progress since the state takeover?
Well, I'll tell you that. So when they came in for the 6 months ago, so as soon as they came in, I was one of the first ones. I said, okay, I welcome the state. I welcome the state, and I'm looking forward to work with the officer in charge, the Chief Isa Abazi. So we start. And we made progress. I cannot say that we didn't make. We made progress. The last couple of weeks, they've been very rough. We have a lot of shootings, multiple killing. 5 people dead. It's been been a rough 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks has been rough in the city of Patterson. So we did make progress. Now my concern is the resources. Now in the city of Patterson, if we have to stay here, and I mentioned this at the last meeting, I say, listen, I'm here and I support AG, and I'm open to work with AG because we do need resources. And if the state is here, I'm hoping that they bring additional revenue within time of money. I want to, because we need more police officers. The city of Patterson, the large of the city of Patterson, we got to have at least 520 police officers. Right now, we got around 400, and there's around 15 to 20 that they are on the way out. They're gonna leave they've been here for 25 years or more. It's time for them to go. They decide to retire. So then we have to replace those that are leaving. Plus, we are under 120 police officers. The size of the city of Patterson, Newark, like close to 1,000 and change, Jersey City, and Patterson, which is the third largest city in the state of New Jersey, we only have 400, and at the best 420, 398. So we are very understaffed when it comes to the police department. My hope with the AG is that they bring the resources that we need to have 120 police officers, equipment, new cars. So we have a lot of old cars, a lot of beat up Crown Victoria, old SUV driving around. So our police department, they need the state-of-the-art equipment, in order for them to do the job. We need to have the amount of police officers. Sometimes you call the police, they don't show up But it's not because they don't want to. It's because, there's 40 and 50 call for service waiting, and you are one of the list, So there's domestic violence, shooting, all the different 911 calls, and then somebody blocking your driveway. That's an emergency, because if you have to leave your house to go to work, if you have to get into your house when you come to work, you want to be able to get into your driveway. And then sometimes somebody's blocking your driveway. They don't show up because they don't have enough police officers. So the state is here. I'm hoping that they bring money to help our police department. That's my goal. I'm all about solution, and I'm only care about the city, about the resident of the city of Patterson. So if they're here, so I want to see, what we're going to bring to the table, because today we got the budget hearing for the next fiscal year, and that was one of my questions. Just today we finished. So if you see, this is a fiscal year 2024. So we have police, library, museum, health and human service, and finance. So today I just finished. I've been here since 5 p.m. We discussed all those items, and police was one of the number one. So they have to come back next Tuesday to continue the conversation about our police department. So because I request all the needs. So what is that they need to provide the services that the resident of the city of Patterson need?
So it seems to me, Alex, that you're spearheading a lot of these efforts, which is, great in retrospect. But my question to you is, do you think with the additional resources, if provided by the state and the attorney general's office, do you think that these additional resources, such as the 120 additional police officers, will deter the serious crime problem that we have here in the city of Patterson? Do you think that just that is enough?
Yes. I mean, leadership, with the right leadership and the right amount of police officers, we're going to be able to have the right amount to take care of all the call for service that we get. We're going to be able to have police officers in our neighborhood, because let me tell you what happened. The problem that we have is that we're reacting to the crime. You don't see our police officer walking around the east side area, the, 32nd, 31st, Brilliant Avenue, Park Avenue. You don't see them walking around the park, protecting our children, the people that are going around the park. You don't see them around there, because all they do is taking care of those emergency calls. So I want to see a police department that is going to be able to drive around the city, patrol the city, walk around the neighborhood, getting to know, the people that live in our community. That's what we want to see in order for us to prevent crime. So right now, the police department, the amount of people that we have, they're responding, they're reacting to all the calls. What are we getting? So I don't want to see that police department. I want to see a police department who's going to be able to pass by your house and stop by and walk around the block and introduce himself. Listen, I'm officer so-and-so. I'm in charge of this area. Whatever you guys need, we're here to protect you. So that would give the community a sense of safety. So our community need to feel safe. If you don't feel safe in the community that you live, nothing is going to work.
I agree with you on that. Let's take a step away from crime for a second, Alex.
Yes.
One of the major obstacles that we've been facing here in the city of Patterson, especially with our homeowners, is taxes. Is the city council prepared, or does the governing body as a whole have a solution for the yearly increase that the homeowners are facing in taxes each year?
Well, I'll tell you that's a very hot topic. Right now, it's a very hot topic, because the administration, they're ready to introduce the budget with a little bit over 2% increase. And we have a major problem, which is also the Board of Education. The Board of Education, in the last 4 years, they've been increasing their taxes, but the city doesn't see that, because they increase the budget, and we are the one that have to vote on it to give the money to the Board of Education. They've been increasing the taxes 11%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 11%. But the community doesn't see that, because we are the one responsible at the city council to pass the budget, and a portion of the money go to the Board of Education. Out of that dollar, a portion go to the county, another portion to the Board of Education, another portion to the city. So we split it. But we got a major problem with our school district, increasing taxes every year, plus the city that is in deficit, and they have to go over. I think that they've been discussing additional revenue. I've been open to listen to the administration on in terms of the revenue. Cannabis now coming into the city of Patterson. There's a conversation on that topic, but I believe that we got to find a way. We have a lot of the new development in the city of Patterson. We got to see all those property, how much revenue, additional revenue we get from those property, because not all those property have tax abatement, of course. A lot of them, they've been renovated, they've been back into the tax roll. So we have to do an analysis before we go back into the taxpayer, because I know we want additional police officer, we want additional services, but we really have to look deep into, I've been one of my fight, it's been like the lack of inspectors. Like, for example, you see the street cleaning going around Patterson with no inspector. They're not giving out tickets. They're not enforcing the law. And since they're not enforcing the law, there's no money for the city. Every ticket's $50. So all those all the time that the street sweeper go out, we're inspected, we losing money, left hundreds of thousands of dollars in the city of Patterson, because that's been an ongoing problem for years. So I think before we hit the taxpayer, we got to look into how much money we're leaving on the table for now enforcing the law that we have in the book. I will tell you, if we start enforcing the law that we have in the book into the city of Patterson, people double parking, illegally parking, doing all kinds of things in the city of Patterson, dumping garbage, breaking the law, we will have enough money to cover the revenue, the entire budget.
Okay. I'm not privy to those same numbers that you are, so I can't disagree with you on that. I have to take your word for it on that topic. I recently heard you talking about a program that's going to provide funding for homeowners to do repairs on their houses. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, listen, it's called the rehab program, and I'm going to send you the video. I think I sent you the video already, but I want you to please, if you could share the video to the community. Every year we get funding for the rehab program, sometimes $400,000, $500,000. And most of the time, that money, people don't apply it. They don't get into those funding to apply. Now, if you own a 2-family house, you could get $30,000 to fix your house. If you own a 3-family, you could get $45,000, $15,000 per floor. If you have a single family, you could apply for $15,000 to fix your house. They just need to call the community development, which is the phone number. It's 973-321-1212. So once again, 973-321-1212. So they could call and they could give the information, the name, cell phone number. And we have a company, which is not related with the city. We hire a private company that is doing all the interview, making sure, looking if you qualify. So once you qualify, they put you on the list. People that have to be patient, because since I put that information out there, a lot of people apply, a lot of people, But if you don't get it now, so you stay on the list when more money coming in, so they just keep calling those people that are on the pipeline to get that funding, to get that money once they approve.
Let me ask you a question, Alex. While we're on the topic of tickets and street naming, let me ask you, so how does it work when, for example, a homeowner is parked in front of their driveway at their house of residence, where they're the owner of record and they pay taxes, but then they're ticketed for parking a vehicle registered to that same address in front of their driveway?
That's illegal. That's illegal, because if I live on my property and I decide not to get my car on the driveway, and I just block my driveway, I cannot get a ticket for that. That's illegal. My advice to that person, whoever got that ticket, is to go to court, get it in court. Some people, they don't like to do it, but I advise, and I would like to encourage any person that is that went through that to go to court and fight that ticket, because they're gonna have to dismiss that ticket. But sometimes member of our community, they have to lose a day of work to go to court. But listen, we have a lot of all those court they through Zoom. They're through Zoom. So please get a court date and fight it, because it's against the law. I live on the property. I could block my own driveway. I do that most of the time, and when I'm busy, I just park my car, get into my house, and leave and go back and forth. That's normal.
Okay, so just to clarify that, so if I live at 10 Main Street and my vehicle is registered to 10 Main Street and I block my driveway, in retrospect, I shouldn't be ticketed for that because the vehicle is registered to the property that I own, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, even though if there is no, let's say that that the police doesn't have a call for service, so why the police will give a ticket? And I'm not in law enforcement, so I don't have all the answers. But I'm not, at this moment we're on the same page.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I'm definitely gonna find out. That's a homework for tomorrow. I'm gonna write it down, and tomorrow I'm gonna call the lawyer and ask the lawyer because, for example, my son, he own a car, and my wife, she own another car. Let's say that you have a family member that stay in your house, and the family member, the vehicle is not registered on that address, but the person is blocking the driveway. Why? How the police officer know that that person doesn't live there? Or that person's not on that house. So, like I said, the only way that they should get a ticket is if the police department has a call for service. Listen, I live in 489 River Street. There's a car, there's a Toyota blocking my driveway. I'm trying to get in my house. I try to leave my house, or whatever the case might be. It doesn't matter. The person. So just if whoever blocking the driveway, then a police unit should be there, giving a ticket and enforce the law. That's the only way that I see that they should be doing that.
Okay. I definitely have no dispute with you on that one. I have a question from one of our viewers, one of the members in the audience. I'm just going to read the question. The question is, what is the governing body of the city of Patterson doing in reference to the concerns that were raised at previous council meetings in reference to the illegal towing of vehicles?
Yes, the illegal towing. I'll tell you that that's another situation. My advice to any person that was towing legally is to call the legal department immediately, put a complaint, because if the vehicle was towing legally, they have to reimburse the money. They have to reimburse the money. If there's any ticket, the ticket have to be dismissal. So be mindful of that. Don't stay quiet on that. Now some private lot, they have a private towing company that are not related with the city. That's that's a civil matter. But if that's the case, like for example, if you like Rise by Mama Juana, there was a problem that the people they split the parking lot. Now they fixed it a little bit because they put line and they separate it. But sometimes they used to go there, and if you park by McDonald's and go to AutoZone, they tow in your car. I mean, it's against the law. How do you know? How do you know that you could go to AutoZone and then right after go to McDonald's and have a breakfast or lunch at McDonald's? So that things like that, you have to fight that. You have to go to court. It's a civil litigation, but you must do it because you have to get your money back. It's illegal what they're doing. Now, if the city is responsible, now you got to come to City Hall, the law department. You have to put a complaint, and definitely you have to get the money returned. Just don't stay quiet because illegal towing, it's illegal towing.
So if I understand what you're saying correctly, you're encouraging people to not just talk about it amongst themselves, but actually take affirmative action following the appropriate channels, reporting to City Hall, filing the dispute, filing the claim so that the complaint is put on record so that something can actually be done about it affirmatively.
And that is correct. And on top of that, they have to reimburse the money that they spend because towing is expensive. Now, it's for any car, they charge you $300.
I've been through it myself. I know.
$300 to, sometime more if you leave the car for another day or a couple of days there. So it's expensive. It's not $50, expensive. So I encourage everybody to go through the proper channel, get your money back, and the law is the law.
Okay. Moving on, Alex. I have another question here. Are there future plans for a soccer field at Eastside Park or any of our other available fields based off the fact that the city seems to have multiple baseball fields?
Yes, I am on the There's on McBride Avenue, so we work and there's a project on McBride Avenue. On Chamberlain Avenue, there's a big soccer field that we've renovated. Beautiful, beautiful. But there's another project by McBride Avenue that we're working on that. And at Eastside Park, I'll tell you that I would love to see a soccer field because we have the space at Eastside Park down the hill. I'm gonna talk to the DPW department. We're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna have a conversation with the administration because I'm gonna take advantage about Eastside Park as much as I can to renovate the park. We repaved the entire Eastside Park. We have a brand new tennis court. Now we're replacing the playground. The playground, it's old, it's antiquated. We're gonna have a brand new playground at Eastside Park. So we're gonna continue investing. It's my goal as a councilman of the third ward. That area, Eastside Park, is one of the most beautiful parks that we have. And if you don't know, the same person that designed the Central Park in New York, it was the person that designed Eastside Park in the city of Patterson. It's the same person that designed a historic Central Park in New York City. So Eastside Park is a landmark. It's a historical park, and we have to beautify the park. We have to invest in the park and make it beautiful to make sure that the surrounding area value goes up to as well. So that's something that I'm definitely going to look into that.
So one of the things I do want to say, Alex, I do want to say that, in the last 10 to 15 years, we've had multiple politicians that have sat behind the barricades of the council and have made promises to improve the quality of life within this city. In the time that you've been here, that all communities, not just the Caribbean community, but the Spanish community, the Arabic community, so on and so forth, have had the pleasure of knowing you. I mean, you're an individual who gets out of bed 3 o'clock in the morning to respond to a car accident just to check to see if everybody's okay outside of your ward. So, I mean, you've actually, really done a phenomenal job in what you've been doing. And I think that your efforts and your aspirations have shown the people of this city and the residents of the community of Patterson that you are committed to improving the quality of life, and you are committed to listening to our concerns and, helping us achieve those goals that we're trying to do. You've been a voice not only for the Latino community, but for the Caribbean community as a whole. So definitely want to commend you on that. Definitely keep doing what you're doing, moving forward and keep going with the agenda. You've done an amazing job, Alex.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My passion is to serve the city of Patterson. I came here with nothing. This city gave me everything I have. This city is a beautiful city. We have the largest Caribbean community in our city. We have over 52 nationalities in the city. We have a really diverse community, hardworking community. So and when we, and my passion is to represent all of them. To make sure that a business owner get the opportunity to grow in the city of Patterson, that the people that live in this city get the opportunity to be a homeowner in the city of Patterson, to invest in our community, to get the best education for their children, to live in a nice neighborhood, so with a decent quality of life. That's my goal, and I'm very passionate about that. So I'm out there day and night because I know that we have a great city. The most beautiful thing that we have is the people that live in this community. That's the most beautiful thing that we have, and we got to stick together. We got to work together to have a better city, a better Patterson. And if you see the people, my team, I have a little bit of everybody. Key Watson is one of my council A from the Jamaican community. Francis Harrison for the African American community. So you got Omar Desma from the Dominican community. So I have a little bit. I have every nationality working around me to be able to serve everybody. And with respect and dignity to every person. Whoever call me, I'll be there. It doesn't matter where you live, what part of the city you live. I'm just gonna be there to help you, and support you.
I can't say I speak for everybody, but I think I speak for the majority when I say that you're probably one of the few politicians who have actually shown that you are going to do what you say you're going to do. It might not happen the same day, it might not happen the next day, but it's on the agenda and it does get done. Yes. So, that's something that I personally definitely do appreciate. Now tell me, I know you previously have extended your endeavors into running for mayor to hold a higher office in the city of Patterson. Is that something that you'll be looking forward to doing again in the near future?
Well, right now, I'll tell you this. Right now, my main goal is to get reelected as a councilman in the third ward. The election is going to be on next May. So getting reelected and just to continue serving the community. Like I say, I love my third ward. I love the resident that live in the third ward and in the whole city of Patterson. I love to work with the people that I'm working now. So I want to get reelected. A lot of people, they always talk about the mayor race all the time because I finished second in the race. I was like the second highest vote getter in the city. I was very close to be the mayor of the city, but nevertheless, so I stay in the council. I'm doing a lot of good things at the council, a lot of different legislation, moving forward, a lot of projects, important projects. So I'm excited right now. So the next goal is going to be getting reelected for councilman in the third ward. And after that, if the people want me to run again, I will be more than happy to do it. I just love to serve. I'm excited to do this work. I don't get tired of working and serving the people and reaching out to people and getting involved with the community,
So you're planning to run again this upcoming May for the next?
Yes, that is correct. That's the next city council election. So I'm planning to run and hopefully win and just continue serving the people because I have a lot of other projects on the pipeline that they're going to happen after May. So then I really want to make sure that I stay at the city council to stay on top of all those projects that are, on the pipeline. We need to talk about reorganize the transportation citywide. If you look at it, Patterson was a city with less than 150,000 people. Now we have almost 200,000 people living in the city of Patterson. The transportation department need to be upgraded. So a lot of other things have to be upgraded because we're not a small city anymore. We are a city with 200,000 people living on a square mile, only a square mile. So there's a lot of challenges with that. A lot of people from New York, they decide to move to Patterson and from different areas. They decide, and that's great because they see Patterson, they see an opportunity in the city of Patterson. So now our job is to make the city safe, is to have a good police department that answer the calls for the constituent, that keep us safe, a DPW that keep the street and the city clean, a department that enforce the law. You got to clean your property. You got to take pride of your neighborhood. So I want my city to be safe and clean. When you get into a city and the city it's safe, you see police officers walking around, and you see the city clean. I mean, you take pride, you enjoy, you decide to stay, get into a restaurant, like Brilliant Avenue. You get into Mama's Kitchen right there, get the best, food, Jamaican food. You know what I mean? So it's the oxtail. You get a nice meal there. You enjoy the day. You get into the park, Amistad Park, which is an Amistad Park. We're gonna have a nice playground. It's already approved. So that park right there on Jamaica Way, we're gonna have a beautiful playground for the children of our community. That's coming. That's gonna be very soon. We already got the money. Thanks to the lieutenant governor, who unfortunately passed away. May she rest in peace. She was the one responsible for allocating the funding for us to have that playground at the Amistad Park. So it's already approved. So very soon we're gonna see that. So that's when you get into a community, a nice and clean community, you decide to stay and and enjoy, patronize the community.
So you previously mentioned the DPW. I understand we have a new garbage contract here in the city of Patterson.
Yes, yeah, that's very important. We do have a new garbage company, but with Roselli, we've been using Roselli for many years, but there was a lot of complaint. On top of that, when we went out for a bid, I made the recommendation to split the city into 3 different zones, 3 different areas, to see if we get like different company, and also to give opportunity to small company to be able to bid on the project. Because Patterson, since Patterson is a big city, some small company, they don't have the capacity to serve the entire city. So it was my idea to split it by zone. We didn't have that many competition back then, but finally we have a company from New York, Silcom, That company, they came to pass when they put a bid. And I will tell you that it's $25 million less than what we're gonna pay Roselli on the Nets contract. So it's a win-win for everybody, but we have to educate the community. And I would love to come back into your program to talk about how the garbage collection is gonna take place, because there's a few changes now with this new contract. The route is gonna change a little bit, not in the third ward. Our area, like Brilliant Avenue, instead of Second Park Avenue, they're gonna stay the same. East Side area, Riverside area, but it's some changes. We're gonna have some changes that I will come back once we agree. But it's gonna be for January. We're gonna stay with Roselli until the end of the year. So in the new year, we started with a new company. So we're gonna have month and a half, 2 months to educate everybody about the process of the new company.
Okay, that's definitely a good thing, because we previously mentioned in the program we have a serious trash issue here in the city of Patterson.
Patterson is filthy. We got to fight to clean our city. I mean, you go to Park Avenue, East 33rd there, and I pass by there, and I like to encourage everybody, homeowner, business, listen, take pride of your community. Let's clean the city. Let's clean the front of our business, the front of our property. But then the city have to do the job. Roselli have to pick up the garbage correctly. Sometimes they go and pick up the garbage, and whatever is left on the floor, they don't pick it up, and they leave the mess there. So it's not fair. It's just not fair what they have done and in the city of Patterson. No.
I definitely agree with that. So I'm pretty sure myself, as well as the rest of the residents and the citizens of Patterson, are looking forward to this new garbage contract, definitely with the changes. Just to reiterate, it affects specifically the garbage portion, not the recycle portion, correct?
No, recycle is still gonna stay in house, but the garbage collection is gonna be different. So we're gonna have a bulk, like for example, there's people that they move out of the apartment and they empty the apartment at one shot. So you're gonna have a specific day to take that out. And you're gonna be able to. So if you want to clean your apartment, throw all the furniture away, you could take everything out. You gotta have a specific day for free at no cost. But if you do it not regularly, there's gonna be a small fee of $50 for you to empty the apartment, and the city is gonna be responsible to come and pick that up and throw it in the yard. So we're making a little changing to make sure that the new company focus on the garbage collection, to do the job the right way, to pick up our garbage collection and not leave any route. For example, East 32nd Street, Key Waxon always call me when Roselli doesn't pass by East 32nd, because most of the time, the East 31st, they leave East 31st, they don't pick up the garbage on East 31st. And when they don't pick up the garbage, that garbage will stay there, it blow away, and it's horrible. It's bad.
While we're on the topic of garbage, Alex, our time is coming to an end here, but let me just touch on this really quickly. So when street cleaning comes around, right? We spoke earlier about ticketing, specifically people being illegally parked during the times of street cleaning and them receiving tickets. Now, the street cleaning really doesn't clean the street. I mean, the truck passes by, but it leaves all of the garbage behind it. It shoots out some water, the sweeper works, but when the street cleaning truck passes by, all of that garbage that it was supposed to clean up is still there in the street. What efforts is the city making to redirect and recorrect this situation that we're having when it relates to street cleaning?
Well, that's the reason why we need those supervisors to stay there, to be aware. And I'm taking this seriously about moving the car, because if the street cleaner wants to do the job correctly, you have to move the car, because the garbage will stay under the car, and when you move it, the street still filthy. So the inspector has to be with the driver, making sure that the driver do the job properly, that the driver get to the curbside and sweep and clean properly. And if they don't pick up the garbage, you have to report it to the yard, fix the problem with the machine, if that's a problem. But the problem has to be corrected. So that's the reason why I'm insisting that the city have to have all the inspectors in place to make sure that the driver do the job correctly, and that we all do our part. Because if you look at the city, we all have responsibility, and collectively, if we all do our part, we're gonna have a better city. We're gonna have a safe city, quality of life, great quality of life, and a clean city.
I have no disagreements with you there, Alex. Our time has come to an end.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah.
We've been here for 20 minutes only.
We're definitely going to bring you back for part 2, Alex. Don't even
Yes,
worry.
yes, please bring me back for part 2 because I'm going to talk about all the projects that we have on the pipeline. Also, before we leave, I'm sorry, just give me a second. I'm going to tell you, I will send you this information. The Patterson Warranty Fund, you have up to October 30 to apply, and then you're going to be able to get $400 a month if you apply. We're going to have 200 family that they're going to be able to receive $400 a month for a year if you apply. It's called the Patterson Warranty Income Program. So you need to apply now. So I will send the information to you. I will send this flyer to you. That way you can apply now. And I will send a video explaining to people how to apply. I will do that tomorrow. Thank you for your time, and God bless you, Patterson. To all my third world residents, to my Jamaican community, one love, and thank you for your time.
One love. Thank you for definitely coming on the show, Alex. Thank you to all our viewers and subscribers. Shout outs to Tony Culture Time App. Shout outs to our executive producer, Michelle. Definitely does a lot of work behind the scenes. This has been
Michelle, thank you to Michelle for always calling me and keep me up to date. Key Watson, thank you, my aide. So thank you all for having me here. I appreciate it.
We'll see you on part 2, Alex.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time. Take care.
You too.
Come and download the Tony Culture Time app. Yes, the Tony Culture Time app, the one place you can come listen to good Jamaican reggae music. Right here, Tony Culture Time app. Come and get the Tony Culture Time app right now. Download the Tony Culture Time app right now. You hear, you see? See it ya. Get it.